Shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutations to the Akim out there, spreading this truth like wildfire in all truthfulness and in all sincerity. Got this article for y'all. Hey, look. I'm going to get this part right here. Look what these devils are blaming the blood clots from the fuck? Hold on, let me do something. Hold on. Yeah. Should have done that before. But, slack you for that. But anyways, let me read this part right here. This article talking about what extreme heat could do to your body. It's from the Telegraph. More worrisome is the increased risk of blood clots when you're very hot. When dehydrated water leaves the blood to be sweated out, so you get more cells in the blood, making it thicker and thicker, increasing the chance of a clot. It can also damage the lining of the blood vessels, which can lead to varicose veins. If you're lounging by the pool under a parasol, try not to move to keep cooler. That means the blood isn't flowing as quickly. Slack it. It can also damage the lining of the blood vessels, which can lead to varicose veins. If you're lounging by the pool under a parasol, trying not to move to keep cooler, that means the blood isn't flowing as quickly. He adds, quote unquote, that increases the chance of a clot. If you're on a holiday and you're very dehydrated in a hot area sitting around a pool. So, if you're sitting still, period, the blood isn't flowing as quickly. Anyway, so extreme heat wouldn't be the only cause. They're just conjuring shit up. That increases the chance of, that's what these devils do. That increases the chance of a clot. If you're on a holiday and you're very dehydrated in a hot area, sitting around a pool, maybe drinking alcohol, which dehydrates you even more, and then on top of that you have varicose veins, your risk of getting a clot in the veins of your legs is reasonably high. If that clot gets in your lungs, then it can cause a pulmonary embolism, preventing blood from getting oxygen, which can cause a heart attack. For this, quote unquote, for this reason, on top of ensuring you drink plenty of fluids in hot weather, Professor Whiteley advises it is important to keep moving even slightly. I'm telling you, man, these devils, they seen the rise in blood clots due to the dragon juice. I'm gonna just call it that, but y'all know what I mean. Due to the dragon juice, and they're trying to pass it off as being caused by extreme heat now. This is why we gotta be. This is why the Bible calls them physicians of no value. Job 13:4. But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. Ye are all physicians of no value. And Job was talking to Edomites, which that's what they are. They're Edomites. And you saw a Moabite. You saw a Moabite doctor there too. But they're all in on it together. You're all forgers of lies. You're all physicians of no value. Verse 5. Oh, that you all together hold your peace, and it should be your wisdom. Right? Like, they're just making up shit. They're just making up shit. Forgers of lies. This is also why the Bible warns against this right here. 1 Timothy 6:20. O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science, falsely so called. Because these so-called scientists, like these so-called doctors, man, and to doctor something means to make it up. To doctor something means to make it up. And this is exactly what they're doing. They're making it up. But you trust them because, oh, they're so-called experts. The Bible says to trust not thy enemy. Never, Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 12 verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusted, so is his wickedness. So, just like iron rusts, right? Like iron is always going to rust, so is this man's wickedness. And you can't trust him for shit, man. They're estranged from the womb, speaking lies. Psalm 58 verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Verse 4. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear. Their poison is like the poison of the serpent. Hey, the dragon juice, anybody? A dragon is also known as a serpent. The dragon juice, anybody? They're like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear. Verse 5, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. Yeah, man, because these devils ain't gonna change. They gonna keep lying through their teeth and feeding you this poison, man. That's why the Bible says not to trust them. And be ignorant of no, and don't be ignorant. Well, be ignorant of no, of nothing, man. You can't. Oh. Let me get this one instead. The simple believeth every word, but you're gonna have simple people. You're gonna have simpletons that are gonna believe what this devil said. You're gonna have that. They're gonna be like, see the dragon juice is just fine. It's not causing these blood clots. All because the so-called expert said it. The simple believe every word. Maybe it is believe it. Come on now. Give me that shit. Let me just do this. Sometimes this app gives on my nerves. Ultimately, it's Satan. Try not hitting it. Sometimes I misspell it though. Sometimes it's me. But anyways, Proverbs 14 and 15. The simple believeth. You gotta get the spelling right, use this app from the jump. But anyways, the simple believeth every word. But the prudent man looketh well to his going. Yeah, the prudent man is not going to be ignorant of the fact that the dragon juice is out here causing his blood clots, and has been proven to cause these blood clots by there was a Lancet study that came out, and it proved it, that these deaths by these blood clots is being caused, myocarditis and all that is being caused by the dragon juice. It's in the juice. And they deleted it right off the bat. They deleted it soon after. It was enough people saw that they were exposed though. But Proverbs 14 and 15, the simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well to his going. The prudent man looketh well to his going, man. And what the prudent man does, the prudent man is not ignorant of anything. Prudent man does his research. Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 5 verse 15. Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small. And this is why, because this devil, he can fool you. He can fool you. But the prudent man is not going to be fooled, aka the elect, is not going to be fooled. The elect that have woken up, because in the past we used to believe what this devil said, right? We used to believe in some of or maybe all of his lies. But once we came to the knowledge of the truth, we stopped believing his lies. Well, I'm gonna get that. Oh. And Esau, and yeah, I know this is talking about people claiming to be Yahweh Shai, but you could apply it here because They're always, because if they could take us out, if they could take us out of the picture, like completely, they would, using other means. Why do you think they emphasized that you so-called black people, Latinos, and Native Americans primarily take this dragon juice? Because y'all, the Israelites, ooh, and they're always trying to get rid of the Israelites. And this is something that they probably came up with in a room somewhere. Let's blame it on the heat. Psalms 83 verse 1. Keep not thy silence, O Most High Power Yahweh. Hold not thy peace and be not still, O Most High Power Yahweh. Verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. Verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. Verse 4. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. Verse 6. The tabernacles of Edom. Who is confederate against thee? The tabernacles of Edom, the so-called white men. And the Ishmaelites, the Arabs of Moab, the so-called Chinese. You saw there was a Moabite doctor, right? That was sort of he was featured on the article too. Come on, there was a Moabite doctor there too. Of Moab, the so-called Chinese, and the Hagarenes, which those are the ancient Egyptians. The modern day ones are Ishmaelites. Ishmaelites live in the land mainly. So Hagarenes would be the ancient Egyptians, which is your so-called Africans. The Watusi tribe. That's an example of ancient Egyptians when you look into it. Verse 7, Gabal and more Hamites, more so-called Africans, because the so-called Africans are not the same people as you so-called black people. Y'all are not the same people. That's why they sold y'all into slavery to the so-called white man. And that's why they hate you. They call you Akata when you go over there. That's a racial slur for us. It means, for our people, it means cotton picker. That's what it means. They call you so-called black people that. So they ain't got no love for you either, because you're not their people. And their mannerisms are totally different. Because you're going to hop on here and say, well, some so-called Mexicans hate so-called black people. Well, the mannerisms, I could tell you, being around so-called Mexicans and being around so-called black people, that mannerisms are pretty much the same. But anyways, under the same curses too. But anyways, yeah, Gabal, more Hamites, and Ammon, the so-called Japanese, who along with Moab are in the hoods selling you abominations. They're part of that crafty council too. And Amalek, Oh, that's the chief tribe of Edom right there. That's the first of the nations. That's them 48ers in our land, and that's them elites that rule over this society. They belong to the tribe of Amalek. The good majority of the elites, because Amalek is they're the chief tribe. They're the first of the nations. Let me get that. Numbers 24 and 20. And when he looked upon Amalek, and when he looked on Amalek, Balaam is who he's talking about. This is who, well, Balaam, this is the one that's speaking. And when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. You know? So Amalek is the first of the nations. They're them devils in our land, you know, them 48ers. The Philistines, more Hamites, because Philistines come from Mizraim. Matazarium, really. And that's who the ancient Egyptians come out of. So they're Hamites. They're more so-called Africans, with the inhabitants of Tyre, or Tyre. More so-called Africans. Verse 8, Ashur, the Assyrians, also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. And the Assyrians, well, this could be looked at in a twofold way. The Assyrians literally are in Iraq. They're literally in Iraq. So some of the Ishmaelites are really not Ishmaelites, they're Assyrians. And they're joined with them. They have, and also twofold, because this is modern day Assyria, as well as modern day Egypt, modern day Babylon, or Babylon the Great. This is spiritual, I should say, spiritual Assyria, as well as spiritual Egypt, and Babylon the Great. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. So this is that crafty counsel that our people are up against. Well, 2/3 of y'all are joined into this man. So y'all are joined into this crafty counsel that is seeking to bring our people down. And this crafty counsel is really aiming at the elect. Because the elect is the Israel, the Most High Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai. That's who the elect is. Not all Israel is of Israel. Let me get that. Real quick. Romans 9 and 6, not as though the word of the Most High Power Yahweh had taken none effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel. There you go. But anyways, let me get back on topic. Let me get 1 Corinthians, no, it's 2 Corinthians, chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. We're not ignorant of his devices. One of his devices is that propaganda that he pushes out. Lies and deception. That he pushes out and expects you to believe. You know, well, the elect is not going to be fooled. And again, this is literally about people claiming to be Yahweh Shai, and you're gonna have that in these last days. But Esau, he's the ultimate false Messiah, false Hamashiach. He's the ultimate false prophet too. Yeah. So you can sort of apply it there, because the elect is not going to be deceived by anything that this devil puts out. Matthew 24:24, for there shall arise false Hamashiachs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, is so much that if it were possible they shall deceive the very elect. Behold, I've told you before, verse 25. Because the elect ain't going to be deceived by none this devil puts out, man. Especially something like this. Come on now. But anyways, hope this video is edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And peace and salutations to the Akim out there, spread this truth like wildfire, in all truthfulness and all sincerity. And shalom to the rest of the hopeful elect out there. Shalom, stay strong. Ababa Ba, dead to Babylon. Abadla Adwamium, dead to these Edomites. Abadla Gawayim, dead to these other nations. And Abadla Ayab Yamnawa, dead to our enemies. The rest of them being 2/3 of you so-called black people, Latinos, and Native Americans, and Israelite foreigners here in these states in Babylon the Great, here in North America, here in these states, and as well as you rebellious Israelites that don't live in Babylon and are scattered among the nations, or live in these northern kingdom countries or outside Babylon. Y'all gonna die too. Shalom, stay strong. Ababa Ba, and Yasharallah forever.